difficult for Fredrin to actually get his combo point because he needs to be able to dash and get the initial reset to stick on top of his targets. Same goes for Valentina. Everybody, let's not forget the wild charge. So every single one of the abilities from the side of Echo has some form of a dash.
And now, Yawi.
There you go.
Justice.
I said it.
You said it.
You called it.
I called it.
Are you excited?
Yes.
All right, since you're excited, I'm going to ask you, looking at Drab, what are you feeling right now? You're feeling Echo, you're feeling Burning Splash?
Honestly, the Mincetar pick for Burn X Flash, right? It puts Echo in a very tough spot. I think there's a smaller window of opportunity for Echo to go about these team fights, but audience prediction here.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
What?
The top is going for Burning Splash, including the Philippines?
Nah,
Get it, like,
they're trying to recover from the wounds that they just
gotta be a
witnessed
mistake,
earlier.
right?
I mean, I have to agree with you. I would expect that the countrymen stay with their own countrymen.
And now,
Maybe they're using the curse.
Curse.
Right?
you know what? They learn from
Yes.
the best. We're the best.
We are the
We
best.
Speaking of the best, we're gonna see throughout this game, it is going to be a best of 5. Who will win this one? We're going into the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your seatbelts on because we're in for a ride into the land of dawn for game number 1 between Burn X Flash and Echo Philippines.
They're going to be starting things off very, very default. We're not seeing a fast force start coming in from Burn X Flash, and even for the side of Echo, they just want to play a standard game for now. Hit those level 4s, look for a neutral fight, and immediately start looking for plays. But keep in mind, D7, at this stage of the game, he's still very susceptible. He has no real means of escaping once he gets caught, so he has to play a very safe game, especially if he does have his abilities up.
It brings me back to the question, right? Mincetar into the composition that Echo have brought, right? Sanji, Benny, Yawi, how is that gonna fare for them in the long run?
Well, in the long run, terribly, in a matter of fact. So it's about timings of fights, right? It's about when that King's Calling is available and how exactly is Echo able to bait that out. Because remember, if we're talking about pickoff or engagement tools, Echo has a little bit of both, right? They've got Samford, who can initiate the fight to maybe get the King's Calling. They got Yawi to kick somebody out of position to maybe get the King's Calling, and then it's about to push and pull.
D7 trying to get himself away, immediately terrified, but Echo just wanted to poke D7.
Very interesting here. Okay, so a little bit of aggression happening on the board right now. But, you know, Chima, wow, he's actually getting jumped really low by Karltizi. In the, you know, turtle acquisitions, how is that going to go?
Right? That's where it gets really good for Burn X Flash because it's a timing that Echo can't really play around. So you'll see how Echo kind of positions around it, right? Keep in mind that Echo is the one that doesn't want to make that first move, but when it comes to neutrals, they kind of don't have that choice. And Burn X Flash are going to have to try and hold them hostage for as long as possible. As long as they've got the King's Calling, it's going to be tough. So look, Samford, he's walking right up to their faces, and Sanji is making sure Tri-Brush is going to be a safe angle.
And D7 immediately just get kicked by the hands of the Yawi. ATM is the one that actually manages to take the turtle off for himself. But Jamar, even though he was trying to get himself in, he still managed to dash himself right out, leaving ATM all alone. But somehow, Burn X Flash didn't lose more than one person, and they got a turtle.
Okay, so a little bit of an advantage here for Burn X Flash. Do you agree with that?
Yes. I mean, I would like to believe that, but let's also keep in mind that Valentina could do the exact same thing that D7 wants to do, right? It's whoever finds that big engage first who won't be able to drop it.
And of course, Way of the Dragon connects down to D7. This is yet another time where D7 gets constantly targeted.
It's all about his ult. It's literally all about his ult. That's what this entire game is about, right? You're gambiting upon your opponent. You're trying to steal his ultimate because it really hurts both sides of the composition.
It seems it's a lot about disengage from the side of Burn X Flash when it comes down to D7.
I mean, ideally, they don't want to be just disengaging, right? You need to be able to get some kind of value or profit. The only issue is that there's only one of D7, and not everybody is able to, quote-unquote, find that pick. So that's when you start adding ATM into this mix. and hopefully by the time he's unlocked from his lane, he's actually capable and strong enough to start threatening that back line.
I actually find this quite interesting, right? Both of the mages opted for the discount emblem. And sometimes we see a little bit of a mix for Novaria, right? Sometimes Impure Rage, sometimes Magic Worship. But here, Mystery Shop against the Valentina. Oh!
Nice catch. However, it doesn't seem like they managed to lock Sanji down for even longer and had to use the King's Calling.
Pre-buffering, that's really great coming in from Sanji's side. He didn't want to use his ability, so using that flicker is just a very safe method to do so. And not to mention that the fact that he's already used the IMU, so no point going further than that. Other than the fact that we need to keep in mind, again, D7 he's got his flickers back up, and I think, you know, Burnix Flash, they're going to be setting up for this neutral fight. So get ready for it. Look at the positioning from Echo.
Doesn't seem like the rest of the members from the side of Burnix Flash will be able to stop Yawi from pushing right in, as that is going to be yet again another kick from Yawi. This guy, this man, is never, ever going to stop.
Yeah, that's the thing about Echo, right? They are so quick on the objectives. We saw that in their previous series as well. And when it comes down to it, they really know just how to make things uncomfortable for their enemy. Yawi always positioning really well in the bush. You know, positioning is so key, right? Bushes are so key. Vision is so key. Burnix Flash actually has CCAT. So with CCAT, shouldn't they have a little bit more to play around with? Try to, you know, shut down Yawi with a surprise Way of the Dragons.
I don't think it's surprise that they're worried about, right? They can scout him out, of course, but do they really threaten Yawi just yet? You only have damage. You don't have a necessary means to lock him down, and that's the big problem, right? D7 is going to try and be that guy, but he doesn't want to waste too many of his resources. The most he can do, the most he can commit for is the Spear of Glory, but anything more than that, that's far too many resources.
With 4 men all the way down south, they would want to target this first tier defense turret as much as possible without losing a single person. But Next Flash moved forward and advances and manages to clear the wave, at least for now.
All right, and that's a 1,000 gold lead already being attained by Echo. It seems like they're putting a little bit of focus here on to Donut, trying to shut him down from the first few minutes of the game, but you know, they haven't been able to catch him.
Very patient on their buttons. Oh,
Way of the Dragon connecting on the D7 once again. King's Calling blocked down, but it doesn't seem like Yawi is affected by that at all. They still manages to collapse down on the D7. The death already. In the meantime, we're just gonna be chilling right up in the top lane where Shamar finds himself on the edge against the Grok. Yawi escapes himself away from ATM while we are still continuing to look at Donut taken down. And this is all spiraling out of control for Burnix Flash.
Look at the mid lane. It's already getting shoved on top side. We're already getting a huge shove as all places have had a successful trade. Now they continue to push even further in the mid lane.
Are they gonna go for it? Okay, they're not. Okay. Oh, almost landed that. But yeah, coming back to what we're seeing right now, right? Like you mentioned here, the disparity of even the levels are very apparent here. Chima actually just reached that level 9. Kaltizi already at level 9. Even Benny QT is quite far ahead of Donut. With Herod being an APC hero going against Donut, who gets that power spike first?
Initially, it's going to be Benny QT for sure, right? He's got that discount, he's got the bargain, he's got 3 kills under his belt in comparison to Donut, who needs a couple of items to really maximize his emblem, right? Weapon Master, it does take some time, it's not immediate impact, but let's see. Kaltizi looking for an opportunity to really start forcing things out for Burnix Flash.
But Kaltizi, it doesn't seem like he's phased at all, despite facing a D7, Donut, ADM, and CCAT is just right around the corner.
Yeah, unfazed, unbothered is just really the gimmick that Kaltizi has brought to MSC, going for these kinds of picks. It's worked out, and they have gotten a lot of objectives because of that.
Do you guys see that? Oh, hold on a second, never mind. As Yawi immediately jumped himself right into Shamar, tries to bring him down, but Shamar is the one that managed to take a kill down onto Yawi instead. As the fight prolongs, Kaltizi holds himself in the front. He wants to go for the taunt, but Donut takes the kill away. The Summon Force lays down, and Red Cutie takes the kill onto Donut, moves on to the next, gets himself a double, and this is how they're going to disengage by having a 2-for-2 trade.
Yeah, 2-for-2 trade, extremely key in that particular team fight was the fact that the Holy Crystal was built in, giving him a little bit of more damage for BennyQt to rush the members of Burnex Flash.
No, that's a perfect way of putting it, because again, that's why you're wondering, why is he holding, if he already has it, why is he holding back here super far away? He's waiting for the King's Call, and notice BennyQt goes around. Carl TZ tells the rest of his team, yo, I'm gonna die, we need to find a trade somehow, and that's immediately when you see BennyQt drop that Xamarin Force, and look how fluid his movement is, right? Finds the synchro fissure, gets that full initial burst when you're right in the middle of it, on towards Donut's side, and then
These team fights, but I like how you mentioned that, because so far we haven't seen these CC heavy heroes being able to just stop the movements coming in from BennyQt. He's been having a really good time. I mean, look at that 5-0-0 already here. That's a lot of gold for him.
Yeah, nobody's catching him. And I like the fact that you brought up ATM, because yes, he's supposed to change that fact, but credits to Sanford. He's clearing out the waves faster. He's literally living up to the moniker of Grok. He is being an unmovable object, and ATM, it's kind of frustrating for him, right? He's not really trading against him. He's not allowing him to move first, and that's how Sanford is maintaining his lead.
And now, of course, Yawi finds himself low in HP, still went down. D7 flickers into the King's Calling. He was hoping that he'll be able to clip a little bit onto the Lord, but Shamar focuses onto the Lord, takes the Lord away from the hands of Echo. The rest of Biona's Flash immediately falls backwards after getting what they wanted.
Oh man, okay, so they win the team fight, but unfortunately they had to lose the Lord. But it looks like Carl TZ, BennyQt once more!
Donut immediately taken down. Sanji proxies the lane and went straight in front for Seacat, pushing him away even more.
Yeah, they're not going to keep on doing this, right? Okay, the Lord is going to spawn, and at least for Burnex Flash, that means that Echo isn't going to just try and end the game right on the dot. And wait, Benny!
Oh, Benny is not going to be stopping anytime soon. The Zaman Force dropped right down. He's going 1v3. The first person already taken down, but here comes Yawi with the Way of the Dragon, just gonna be connecting down on the ATM, completely terrified, flickers himself out of the way, and of course even the King's Calling came in clutch.
Beautiful stuff coming out from BennyQt. He knows for a fact that D7 can't completely commit onto him, especially when he doesn't have that follow-up damage. And as soon as Benny spots the person who is going to be that follow-up damage, that's when he starts repositioning and calls in for Yawi.
Wait. Burnex Flash, no dominance?
Oh, you're right. I don't see a dominance just yet. Yeah, that's going to be a bit of an issue. Not being able to kind of deal with the healing, not being able to deal with the shielding at the same time. That's coming out from BennyQt. But to be fair, is that really going to matter when he's already 2K ahead? The fact that he's got like an extra 2 items on his opponents, like, I don't need the shield, I just need to kill you.
True, but I don't know. I guess that's a step in the right direction. No, I mean, zero respect for Benny. 8-0-1 already here. 4,000 gold lead, and Echo, oh my god, again!
Way the Dragon again onto D7. However, the rest of the members from the Echo is just a little bit too late for the follow-up.
You know, looking at that play, right? Is it wise actually for Yawi to go for the Way of Dragon on D7?
Yes, it absolutely is. And think of it this way, right? You're kicking him not into the middle of your team, you're kicking him at an off angle, hoping that D7 utilizes that ult so the rest of your team can disengage. Keep in mind, Sanford can wild charge outside of the King's Calling and still get the knockup as he's passing through the entire King's Calling area of effect. In that moments, right? We're hoping for choke points. That's what we're looking for. Burnex Flash need to bait Echo into a point where they can't seem to fall back. And there's only 2 places he can do it. Number 1, the Lord or Turtle Pit, or number 2, these POIs on the map, which is going to be the buffs.
Okay, and oh man, like even with that, I think Burnex Flash recognized it. You don't see that they are looking for a contest. 11 minutes, 12 minutes in, Abstract. How are we feeling about this game?
It's definitely grim for Burnex Flash, right? And I'm trying to really wrap my head around as to what they can really do. The main thing that I want to see is probably give some more time to Donut, because when it comes down to the goal disparity, Donut to BennyQt, that's gonna be huge. And the only way that they can probably get the game going is when Seacat skills, Donut skills, because this team is kind of expensive.
Yeah, you're right? And that's interesting because Donut just picked up the Malefic Lore. Is that going to be detrimental to this Lord take?
Absolutely, but I mean, they've got the information. Tech pause.
I don't think that they're capable of doing all of that yet. So I do like the idea of Shamar just going in and just play whatever that he can to really weave himself in and out at the same time. But at least they managed to, find some counter value by bringing down the first tier defense turret in the bottom lane, at at least it gives them some more gold to work with.
Well, let's see how much gold is going to be necessary, right? I mean, we're coming to a point where Echo is going to hit 42K faster than Burn X Flash, but once Burn X Flash hits 42K of their own, the game starts to even out amongst the marksmans, right? Both gold lane players, and especially if we're talking about Benny QT, he's in a comfortable spot. I think he's already got full build. He's 8 kills into this game, power farming, level 15 at the same time, but if we come back over to Donut, he's 2 levels away from max level, and I'm sure he's 3 items off from actually being at his full build. With that in mind, we need to make sure that we understand the fact that Chima needs to be the one that baits out the big spells from the side of Echo. I'm hoping that he's gone for full tank and switched out some of his items.
As the Lord now raises his trident, crashes down onto the middle lane first tier defense turret, the top lane is pushing in as well, while KaoTZ is hoping that he will be able to bring down the second tier defense turret in the bottom lane as well. And that will effectively wipe out all the outer turrets, allowing Echo to have quite a bit of a push lane down the middle line, which Echo would probably make full use of. Oh, Yowie! With the flicker in and the kick right down onto ATM. He's gonna be the first person to be taken down while D7 continues to move on forward with the King's Calling. That is going to be 1 death from the side of Burn X Flash while Yowie sacrifices himself for the greater good.
Very aggressive play by Yowie earlier. It does get a trade onto ATM, and this brings me to the point that I really wanted to bring up earlier. Burn X Flash has such an amazing amount of high ground, so when it comes down to the defense, it's going to be a little bit more tricky for Echo, who direly needs to end this as soon as possible.
I mean, I don't know whether they want to end it as soon as possible. They already played a 39-minute game. Maybe they want to make it into a 40-minute game. Look, they've scrimmed more. Probably they've had longer scrims than professional games. I'm going to be really honest here. But 5 to 12 so far, obviously it's not looking good. But as I mentioned, 14 to 16 minutes is when you're going to see Burn X Flash actually start evening out that score. If we're looking at Novaria, she's got more than enough items. And I like the fact that she did... Oh, hold on.
Oh, and of course, the Diamond Force drops down. D7 even had the King's Calling. There's so many knockdown going on, but it doesn't seem like it will bother Echo at all as they marches right on in. They find D7. He still have immortality, but what can the immortality really do for them? They focus us down onto every single one of these creeps, but where are all the creeps in the top lane? It is still left with a sliver of health on the turret.
Well, I mean, you mentioned that Lancelot needed to bait resources. He did, but he died in the process, so this is looking very grim.
Yowie kicks ATM back to his fellow teammates, but perhaps this is what we want to see. The Astro Echo connects down onto Echo, but that immediately pushes Echo away because they just don't want to deal with this.
Here's the thing, right? Yes, Tremont needs to bait out resources, but they can't be working in pairs. 2v5 is still not good odds for him at the end of the day, and they have to recognize that not everybody's at max build. 7.6k deficit for them as of right now, and if this game drags out for another 2 minutes, the gold lead isn't really going to matter at the end of the day, which is when Burn X Flash probably want to burn out these resources or buy this Lord Pit. That's what I was waiting for, not buy the purple side, and I think even for Chima, he probably just wanted to have his purple buff more than anything else.
I mean, you know, being an assassin against someone like Echo, it's not an easy feat to do because you know that you are going to be bullied for that purple buff, especially when you don't have the map control, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. It's just, oh, wait, what?
Yowie connects down onto Donut. What were you doing there, Donut?
Oh no, not Donut. This is right before the Lord. Do they even need the Lord? Okay, they're going for the Lord. They're going for the safe pick. But that's not looking good. 30 seconds left. The Lord is going to spawn. What can Burn X Flash do?
Honestly, nothing at this point. Donut was their only way to kind of like bounce back and try to turn the tables because he's got enough damage, and also the highest DPS amongst his team members.
Nice hook coming in from D7. It made and forces Sanji to go for the flicker, but Yowie immediately broke through the defenses and kicked ATM out of it all. Wasn't even able to use the Mightiest Warriors. D7 knocked down onto the King's Calling. It forces the rest of the members from the side of Echo away. Shama is still in the midst of it all. The KaoTZ's HP doesn't look very good, but in the end of the day, Burn X Flash still managed to defend this until I don't know, because D7 still wanted to re-engage. He went for the hook. Shama went straight in again. He wants to get a kill on Yowie, but it doesn't seem like he will be able to successfully do so. At the middle lane, Lord, he's just gonna be slamming right down with the trident. The rest of Echo follows through. Only left with Seacat as well as Donut. Seacat is gonna be taken down so well, D7, and that will be the first game taken in by Echo.
Wow, all right. Echo really bringing their A game here in this best of 5. They're going to be leading the series, and that puts